Motorweek 88, television's automotive magazine, with your host, John Davis.
Hello and welcome again to Motorweek 88. We're glad to have you with us. One of the hottest rivalries in the European motor industry is the one between BMW and Mercedes. These two manufacturers have been battling hard for control of the luxury car market in the U.S. and Europe for many years. BMW recently gained the upper hand by introducing its advanced 7 Series. And now BMW has upped the stakes even further by introducing its new 12-cylinder engine a full year before Mercedes can field one. BMW expects the combination of the 12 and the already proven 7 Series chassis to leave Mercedes in the dust. But does this new super bimmer really have what it takes to be king of the luxury hill? It depends on how many people will be willing to spend nearly $70,000 for their next car. That's the going rate for the 750iL, BMW's latest entry in the European luxury sedan sweepstakes. At first glance, it looks like a clone of the 735i, but there are many subtle differences that set it apart. The front end has a larger version of the traditional BMW grille, as well as high-pressure headlight washers and a hood with a wider bulge. Other differences include more aerodynamic cast alloy wheels and rectangular twin exhaust. And you'd be hard-pressed to miss this sign of success, a cellular phone antenna. It mates up with a standard cellular telephone designed especially for the 750iL. The system includes a roof pillar-mounted microphone for safer hands-off operation. But those are all minor differences. A major one is a 4.5-inch longer wheelbase. The increased length is concentrated in the rear seat area. BMW also fitted longer rear doors, giving the 750iL a very limousine-like aura, which is appropriate, as the increased space gives the 750iL rear seat room second only to a full stretch limo. Additional comfort comes from a power-adjusted rear seat. It changes the backrest angle by moving the bottom cushion. These differences are all very nice, but they don't justify a price difference of $20,000 over that of the 735i. This does. BMW's long-awaited 5-liter V12 engine. This unit uses an aluminum cylinder block and heads to produce 300 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque. But why 12 cylinders when the same horsepower can be squeezed out of an 8? The reason is smoothness. The more cylinders an engine has, the less work each cylinder has to do. The result is high power output with less overall engine vibration. And a car that flows from 0 to 60 in only 6.6 seconds. And finishes the quarter mile in 15.7 seconds at 92 miles per hour. Quite impressive for a large sedan weighing over 4,200 pounds. The compact V12 is quiet, but we had hoped for a more distinctive exhaust note. Anyways, there's plenty of power at almost any engine speed. The ZF-made 4-speed automatic transmission also wins our praise with its smooth, solid shifts. We're sorry the same can't be said of the shift selector handle, which feels a little flimsy. A console-mounted selector switch allows the driver to select different shift points for different types of driving. They all feel pretty much the same when you've got your foot jammed to the floor, but in normal driving, much livelier shift points are obvious with the transmission in the sport mode. When the road gets twisty, the 750iL feels a little like its much smaller 3 Series relative. Lift off the throttle and the tail will kick around for tight corners, as in a 325i. But if you rely strictly on the variable rate power steering in tight, fast turns, you run into problems. Hard maneuvers cause the boost level to change abruptly, so the steering suddenly goes from light to heavy when you least want it to. The 750iL's 4-wheel anti-lock discs are as safe and predictable as anyone could want. The firm pedal is easy to modulate, allowing you to stay out of anti-lock mode if you wish. The result is straight, sure stops that averaged only 106 feet throughout testing. Out on the highway, the 750iL has a very comfortable ride and a low interior sound level of 64 decibels. The already luxurious interior of the 735i has been taken a step further. Anything that couldn't run away has been covered in leather. But that leather is too perfect, leaving you to wonder if it comes from the bellies of some genetically engineered creatures. The dash is the same crisp, efficient design from the 735i, but some staff members found it and the wide interior very dark and oppressive as luxury cars go. Gauges are large and well marked with a 170 mile-per-hour speedometer dominating the cluster. We would, however, like to see a voltmeter and oil pressure gauge added to the cluster. A decidedly unstandard standard feature is BMW's supplemental restraint system, which uses a steering wheel-mounted airbag. The comfortable 8-way power seats provide an excellent driving position. Features range from motorized headrest and heaters to a 3-position memory. The 8-speaker cassette stereo has less of the fringe reception difficulties which plagued our 735i test cars unit and delivered crisp, powerful sound. It proved popular with our staff. Climate control also comes in stereo with a separate control for each side. Except for a louder than typical fan roar, we're impressed. The climate control panel shares a pod with a surprisingly efficient trip computer. Just so the backseat passengers don't feel left out, they get a few toys too, such as motorized headrest and a rear window shade. Trunk space is what you would expect for a big car. The huge opening allows easy entry for a ton of luggage, though the liftover is high. The EPA rates 750iL mileage at only 12 city, 17 highway. Our mixed driving loop returned an acceptable for a V12, 16 miles per gallon. Our list of hits starts with the BMW's remarkable V12 engine and its excellent acceleration. We are also impressed with the 750iL's interior room and luxury equipment. Handling and braking rate excellent. Misses include the unpredictable variable assist steering, the quality of some interior fittings, such as the shift lever, and the overall dark, somber feel of the interior. A recent J.D. Power Report study says 93% of BMW buyers buy their cars to impress others. The 12-cylinder 750iL will do the job better than any Mercedes-Benz or Jaguar currently can, but it's still not the perfect luxury car. A luxury car makes you feel at home with a sumptuous, elegant interior. The BMW could take a few pointers from the Jaguar XJ6 in this matter. But for now, we'll have to settle for what is merely the most impressive European luxury sedan yet.